All right, guys, busy day at the shop. Number one, when I did this exhaust on this truck, it was long tube full length headers, and the collector, which is this. This is a smaller version. Gasket here. This is a smaller version, but this copper gasket. I have a, I guess a composite style, whatever, under this truck. And they tell me to goop this up on both sides with that copper gasket maker. Let me know what you guys think about that. I did it, worked fine, but then it's burned off probably after like 5,000 miles. And I've developed a small exhaust leak. And this was like a professional, been doing this for years type of muffler shop. And they told me to do this on both sides. To me, there's got to be a better way than putting something that's going to burn off. I mean, this says ideal for exhaust gasket repairs. 65 to 700 degrees Fahrenheit. So maybe it didn't burn off. There's no way I got 700 degrees Fahrenheit there. I don't know. Maybe small imperfection. Maybe somebody disconnected it and put it back and didn't put this stuff on it, and that's why it's got a leak now. Let me know what you think. Number two, it's getting tighter and tighter in here. I'm bringing stuff in the shop every day. I got its cabinet. I got to figure out where I'm going to put that. Extra toolboxes. There's like, it's just starting to fill up. I want to get this all figured out before the winter. I know winter just ended, but definitely going to be tight on space with both cars in here. But today, this is the deal. I did this as well. Started it up. Have an intermittent issue with the transmission. There's got to be something going on. I'm going to make sure once again that it's got enough fluid in it today with it running. But when I first started up on these different hills and elevations, I'm losing all my gears, and then it comes back like the fluid needs to build pressure, like I don't have enough fluid in the pan. I'm wondering if maybe I should overfill it because I have an extra large pan. You guys let me know what you think. It kind of sounds stupid as I'm saying it. Shouldn't matter. The dipstick should still go to the bottom. I got one of these. It's not even an extra large pan. It's just a thin pan. You can see there's a little transmission fluid dripping on it, but I've had a catch can underneath it. So trying to figure that out. I have an exhaust leak on this car as well. Same situation. Zip tie. There's the subframe connectors I did. I noticed a big difference driving. Pretty cool. Around turns and stuff. Doesn't flex as much. So letting this cool down. Also, the gauge back here for the water pressure, water temperature in the back, it's not really reading anything because it doesn't get hot. This is at 180 up front where it should go here. And back there is probably like 100. There is water in it, it's a water jacket, but it's just not getting the temperature. Like the head's 170 degrees, but for some reason that gauge is reading real low. I took it apart, took the Teflon tape off of it, thinking that was hindering it from getting aground, but it didn't do anything. I hooked up the vacuum gauge to this test port here that I've plumbed in between my transmission vacuum line and my port here for the vacuum gauge, and I ran the car and kept adjusting my idle mixture screws, and I set my timing again with the vacuum gauge and adjusted my idle mixture screws. Got about 750, 800 RPMs at idle, and it's got almost 16, 17. I should have probably did a video on it with you guys to show you how it works. So this gauge here is a vacuum gauge. That needle goes to the left from 0, which I'm looking now, it's not zeroed out. I guess it's zeroed out, it's in the black. But you want to get this into the green by this 20, somewhere in that range. I was between 15 and 20, and I'm looking for my smoothest needle function getting close to 20. I was probably around 17, 18 with it idling. And then you rev it up and you give it a little gas, and you can see the needle jumps around and then it smooths out. So I was able to set the timing that way. This is another cool little wrench. Obviously, your timing light is what it is, but I come to find that with these custom cars, things are not always the same, and it's better to set them with the vacuum gauge. A stock vehicle, you could do a timing light, but stuff that's been customized, different balancers and harmonic balancer might be on here. This tool gets onto this nut, this bolt down here. See that? And you can adjust it up here. I got this from a buddy years ago. He told me he was done working on old Chevy trucks, so yeah, so that's the story here. I got it running good, idling, no leaks on the cooler lines, no leaks on the antifreeze. I did spill some putting it in. The new radiator support's in. She cruises yesterday. We had it out, no problems, but I noticed off the line there was a little hesitation. I want to try to get that figured out. And going into it deeper here, this is a vacuum secondary. I got to talk to somebody. But when I'm giving it gas here under the hood, revving it, I'm waiting for this back butterfly to get engaged with the vacuum of the engine. And I'm not seeing this moving at all, no matter how I'm revving it. So I'm wondering if it's only running off of 2 barrels right now. Let me know, guys, if it's not taking the air. Maybe it's because it's too big of a carb for the engine. You guys let me know what you think, okay? Maybe it's got too much CFM as it is and it's not pulling it. It's not a very radical cam, and a lot of guys run mechanical secondaries instead of these vacuum secondaries. Maybe I could do a different spring to get it to open up. I mean, drivability is pretty nice. So let me know, is it a balance between drivability and what? All right? If anybody's watching, give me a shout.